we have a random orbit sander here. Most people use a sander incorrectly.
Oh, they do.
I'm
I'm sure I do.
They'll start it up here and they'll put it on the wood.
That's
well, you
what I do.
notice that it did not land flat on the wood. So now I've got a gouge where this moving sandpaper hit down here.
Yeah, okay.
And if I, again, wipe it with alcohol, I may see that little crescent moon shape where I did this.
Okay.
Most people bear down on the sander thinking, well, golly, I've got to push harder. That makes it cut better.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't?
It wears out your pad. If you've got hook and loop on here, the heat that you've built up from pushing down will melt the hooks on your pad. Oh. And your sandpaper won't stick anymore.
Oh, wow.
And also they'll run their sander at full speed.
Yeah.
Now I generally run mine about half speed.
You do?
Yes.
Ah.
And
Do you ever adjust that?
Rarely will I, unless I'm polishing, I might go up to, if I'm have a bonnet on here, I might spin it up.
Spin it faster, right.
But generally for sanding, I'm between 2.5 and 3.
Okay.
And this is on a scale of 6.
Yep.
And when I do it, I'm holding just the cord and the hose.
You are?
There's enough weight right here to do proper sanding.
Huh.
Now I'm hooked up to dust collection, and I have this turned all the way down because these are so efficient that the air is blown out through the center. If I'm on full blast on my vacuum, there's not enough air in there, and it will start to come when I come in from the sides, and the sander will bounce.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I turn the vacuum down to allow this to be the air, all the air it needs that's blowing out of the center hole.
Now, what grit is this?
This is 150 grit.
150.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for most stains, like on gel stains, the can will say sand no finer than 150. The liquid stains, sand no finer than 220. You got to read the stain can.
Okay.
That's your final grit.
That's
All right?
where
That's
you
it.
go. Okay.
Yeah. And so here, I'm just going to turn it on. I'm going to move about 3 inches per second. And then I'm going to overlap my stroke by about 50%.
Okay.
Notice this is the only thing that is controlling it is my hand right here. See, there's the vacuum.
That's from the vacuum?
Yeah, that's from the vacuum. When I stop it, I want to stop on the wood.
Don't lift it off.
Yeah, because again, if I lift it up, I'm going to gouge it. Because I can't lift off in a single plane. Now, these are very efficient. There's no dust on there either.
Yeah.
That's what's really nice about
Let me
these.
see this.
They make it so inviting to starting it.
I already started it wrong. Even from the get-go, I'm wrong.
Well, and they make these so ergonomically inviting to hold that you want to push down on. And it's okay, just the weight of your hand can guide it fine.
All right.
I like being able to keep the cords and the hoses up off the work. So if
Up
I'm
out
doing a
of the
big
way.
table, I might have that draped over my shoulder as I'm working then. Just like that.
So how do you know when you're done with sanding?
Well, I can look at it with my alcohol again, and I can see scratch marks left behind by previous grits. And when those scratch marks are gone, I know that this sandpaper has done its job.
To move on to the next grit.
Move on to the next grit. It's important though to keep this clean then. So I'll take this off and I'll brush off this or blow off this. I'll blow off my work because I don't want a loose grit here staying down here when I come back with the finer grit. Because of this random orbit action, this pad is actually spinning this way as well as whirling around here.
Okay.
That little pigtail of grit will show up. Oh. So again, when I'm done sanding, back to the alcohol, and I'm going to wipe that down, and I'll see any of those little pigtails that will have come across there.
Okay.
So,
And then you'd go back to it with the same grit.
yeah.
Remove
there.
that.
I might just go with a hand sanding block. I'll just go back and forth with the grain.